Hello, this is Victoria Pendragon. Welcome to my alternate reality. A reality in which there are many ways, as many ways, to reach your own personal enlightenment as there are people out there. And along those lines, I want to address something known as tantric sex. Tantric sex is a yoga practice, really, at bottom line, because it's harnessing the powers of the body and keeping them in control, that is used to elevate the act of sex, which is the union of two souls and spirits coming together via their bodies, and an expression of oneness, because it is two opposites coming together. Sex is the epitome of the Tai Chi symbol, which is, of course, that black swirl with the white dot and the white swirl with the black dot. That's a little bit of the man and the woman, and a little bit of the woman and the man, or a little bit of this person in that person, and vice versa. Because opposites don't just come in male and female, they come in all kinds of ways. There are people who espouse tantric sex as being the be-all and end-all. Nothing is the be-all and end-all. Everybody needs to find their own way of being. So, if you are interested in tantric sex, but gifted with a partner who isn't the least bit interested, surrender. Because the partner who isn't the least bit interested is just interested in the sex, which in itself is a pretty darn wonderful thing. The partner who is interested in the tantric sex is interested in sex as a means to. One is no better than the other. One is a little more direct than the other, which is to say the person who's just interested in sex, that's not the least bit convoluted. But as a person who advocates surrender, I would say go with the channel of least resistance, which is always going to be the one where there's less control. There are people who are by nature disciplined. I myself am one of those people. I'm an exceedingly disciplined person. I set structures for myself and I follow them effortlessly, easily. I can say no to a brownie with no problem if I have to. If I don't have to, trust me, I can eat my share. Not everybody is the same. And if anyone ever chides you for your approach to life itself, feel free to gently remind them that we are all different. And some of us, like me, are designed to make mistakes and learn from them. That's who I am. It's how I learn. Now, there's a whole bunch of people out there who aren't. There's a whole bunch of people out there who get it right on the first time. And then there's a whole bunch of people who are in between. Everybody has their own path. Some of us have a more subdued path. Some of us have an incredibly exciting path. We need to be true to ourselves, always. And if what you come up with is the fact that, and I'll go back to the sex thing again, because that can become a kind of an issue, because if you have a couple and the sex is not a compatible thing, then it's a problem in the relationship that needs to be addressed in some way or another. And heaven knows there are hundreds of ways to address that. I'm not going to get into that. But in that case, it is such an intimate thing and so important that you get it settled. The way to go, that is the easiest way to go, is always going to be the path of least resistance. It is always going to be easier to follow the stream, the way the stream wants to go, than to try and paddle against it. So, again, surrender. Do the easy thing. I chose tantric sex as an example too because there are people who tend to get on their high horse about enlightenment, people who tend to call themselves enlightened and be proud of it and look down a bit on those of us who aren't. Must be nice. If you're a human being living on earth, doing the best that you can do for who you are, you're good. I like the witch's credo. Do what thou wilt and harm none. My version of it is do what thou wilt and don't make anybody else do what you're doing. If they want to, fine. But if not, we are all individuals. And I think that's it. I think that sums up what I was headed for. I'm sorry if you thought I was going to talk about sex. I'm certainly happy to talk about sex. I enjoy it. But I was really just talking about the differences between people and their needs and how to meet those needs. Of course, my mind went right to sex because I guess it just does. It's easy. Oh dear. Menard, it's time for this to be over. You're late to the party, honey. Bye.